You be watching Selling Sunset?
No.
Nah? Alright.
Welcome back to the Realtor Chronicles. On today's episode, we have Brandon Spikowski, or SKIB. He's a rapper, he's a contractor, he does a lot of other things. So let's get into it.
Let's get into it, man. What would you like to know about?
Bro, how you been? How's everything going?
I've been good, man. It's going. Life is lifing.
Okay.
You know, just trying to maintain and keep elevating.
So how did you, after high school, how did you become a rapper? Because you're like a rapper now.
Yeah.
You're doing some side jobs, but let's go.
Also a producer, too.
And a producer.
Make a lot of beats. But I'll go back to that with you. So when I was in high school, we would always freestyle. It was always like on my mind that I liked rapping. I wouldn't necessarily have coined myself a rapper then because I was more so just messing, having fun with it. You know, I wasn't taking it seriously, I guess. And when, so I failed out of my freshman year of college. And when I came home, that's when I kind of started dabbling with it even more. I was going back to COD, so I went to community college and finished my associates. And I knew at that point that's what I wanted to do, but then I also had the troubles of needing to bring in income so I could do anything that I wanted. So I could drop a video, go to the studio, all that. Yeah. So I started with my boy Josh Oakes. So I'm still loving the carpentry too. I think it's cool, and I think it is also what's the word I'm looking for? It relates with the music. I always find them crossing patterns at the same time of like different forms of income that I can get to allow me to still create and be an artist.
Now, when you moved to Tennessee for a while, and then that's when I first noticed that you were doing like a lot of music. I went down there, and then he's like, "Oh, Brandon's like in the studio, and I open the door, and you're just like there making music, you're like on your laptop, you're just like doing everything." How is it doing like stuff out there, and then how is it doing stuff up here?
So that's a great question too. So I started really falling in love with it here, but I wasn't taking the step that I realized I needed to take for my artistry, which is what being out in Tennessee taught me. So when I moved out there, it was really all on me, you know, everything. So rent, everything was just all on me. And I still had that hunger and that urge, but I also knew I didn't want to keep hitting up people to lease beats. Usually in this game today, people go on BeatStars or on the YouTube type beats, and they're going to be leasing beats for $50 to be able to use it X amount of streams. So let's say you do have one that blows up, you still don't have the ownership of it. And I just knew I didn't want to keep doing that, plus on top for studio time. So during COVID is when I really hunkered down and I started making my own beats. And then I wouldn't label myself an engineer fully yet. I still got some more learning to go about the nooks and crannies, but definitely taking that leap of faith helped drastically in my art and my art form.
Okay. And then, so you were a contractor also in Tennessee while you were doing all this stuff.
Yeah, with remodeling.
What's the funniest thing you saw? Like, what's something crazy you saw?
Remodeling? The craziest thing I ever had to do, and Josh was with me as well, was we had to take in, it was a, what's the proper term? This is where Josh always gets me. It was like a steel header. So for a basement, it was like it's the support beam, is what they call it. And this thing was ginormous, at least like 20 foot, pure metal. So we can't lift it. And we have to, the guy drops it off the truck, and we all have 7 things of PVC pipe. And we're all rolling, trying to hold on to it while we roll it on the PVC pipe. So we have someone moving PVC pipe from the back of the thing to the front to go into their backyard. And then we had to shove the steel beam in through the window without breaking anything. And then it took us the whole day just to get it up into place because we had to literally jack it a little bit, put something under it, go to the other side, jack it a little bit, put something. It was insanity. That was probably the craziest thing that I can remember off top. It's nuts.
So it took you all day to do that. But then while you're in Tennessee, what made you move back now? And then start pursuing, because are you still doing like...
Yeah, so I'm still, so that's, I view that as work, you know? I love it, and I find enjoyment in every little thing that I do, but I find that to be like work, so anything to bring in a means to an end, you know? While still pursuing. But what brought me back was mainly my girl, and kind of just was missing the family. I feel like that hiatus I took, whatever you want to call it, to Tennessee, it taught me a lot about myself that I needed to know, that when I came back, I was kind of able to apply it and still be confident in myself and what I wanted to do with what seems like now there's a bunch of people that know what I got going on or know what I'm doing, see what I'm doing. When in Tennessee, it was just like they saw it from a distance. It wasn't face front, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then you came back. So you've been back for like almost, what, a year and a half, 2 years now?
Yeah, about 2 years now.
And then, how you started building your studio in your, is that your room or is that in your?
Yeah, so that was when I was staying at my mom's house and I just moved out of there. But
I built out of your mom's house?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, so I'm staying with my girl in Oak Forest now.
Okay.
So yeah, we got a little spot out there, and I'm gonna be building an official studio in there. And this is what I was talking about, that crossover. I was watching an Instagram reel, and lo and behold, I found you need only like a couple 2x4s, and I need to get my panels. I'll rip my 2x4s, and I can make like studio quality soundproof panels. So like, you know, we could just make them.
So then you moved out to Oak Lawn, so you're building a studio
Oak
out
Forest,
there. Oak Forest.
Yeah.
You're with your girl now. How has like kind of life changed in that way for you?
Okay, so
is it now easier because
now
you're with your girl?
Yeah.
So now you get to see her more, but then also.
I think that problems are relative no matter where you go. Every step you go, if you get like, how do I put it? It's like problems still arise no matter where I am. But I noticed that I've helped or I've grown in my mindset of kind of looking for the solutions or trying to understand why I feel things are a problem and why someone else feels a thing is a problem before I really react or even go back to like my old ways, you know? And that's the good thing about my relationship I have with my girl is we both allow each other to almost, we'll go back to our old habits or something, but we not call each other out, we do it in a healthy way, you know? And we both like, sure we butt heads and stuff, but we always come back out of it like on top, which is cool. And I think that shows a lot of growth.
Okay. So what made you, so you both have a place there, what made you want to move out there? Because I feel like a lot of like everyone that like knows you is like out here.
Yeah, so I think that's another thing that Tennessee really kind of taught me is, and that it's a famous quote Jay-Z always says. He says, "No matter where you are, there you are." You know, so it don't matter if I'm 20 minutes out the way, if I'm 2 hours out the way, I'm still gonna be me and I'm still gonna be doing what I do. And I don't think it's like I'm gonna be missing any more opportunities going there. If anything, it's gonna open me up to more possibilities because I know possibilities that, not that I know, but I'm just, you know, just kind of spreading out and kind of still just, it's always important to stand on what you really want and believe in, regardless of, I'm sure you've even had ups and downs of starting this podcast thing where it's like, you don't know how it's being received. It's like, I saw this one little post, it was like the creative process in itself, and it was like, this sucks. This is terrible. I hate myself. Wait, this is getting kind of good. Wait, this is awesome. You know, so it's just, you just always got to stand firm in what you wanted from the jump, no matter what comes your way. And I feel that always allows for more and more and more and more growth, and you're gonna get another. But it always stays the things that we learn when trying to take like a artistic leap or a leap like this content. I feel like it's really putting yourself out there. It's giving out the real you, which is what a lot of people facade on there. You know. So it's like you're going to face those thoughts and even other people where it feels like they're saying something demeaning or this, but none of it means anything ever because everyone's just kind of wrapped in their own world, you know? But I think this whole shit is cool. That's why even when you hit me up, I applauded you on the first time you were doing it, I was like, hell yeah, like, you know?
It's been a wild kind of journey. Like, I didn't even want to bring like people on. And then, like, I got a call from Josh, and he's like, oh, I'm coming on. I was like, okay.
Yeah, but it's cool because I'm curious. Let me ask you a little question. How have you been seeing... So it's still called the Realtor Chronicles, but we are digging into, like, life. So how do you see that helping you?
So I want to change... Well, I want to keep the Realtor Chronicles, but it's going to be, like, life happens, then real estate happens. So I can talk about, like... Because I talk, like...
That happens with anything.
Yeah.
Take out real estate and put music happens or put...
I talk about, like, people's lives in this thing, and I always try to bring, like, a little bit of real estate in it, like, kind of, like, what they did, like, to, like, in real estate, like, and all that.
Yeah.
But mostly we just talk about, like, life in general, like, what you guys have been up to, kind of, like, what DG did. Like, we talk about, like, for DG Muay Thai, Josh was, like, construction the whole time.
Nah, but that's cool. It shows, like, the layers to an individual rather than just real estate. Nah, that's a cool way, and that's a smart way with content. What we was talking about is, like, you got to find more. So for me, and my approach is like I'm trying to find more ways to get me, who I am, out there besides just being like new song drop, new song drop, new song drop, new song drop. And that's why you see me on like my stories now, kind of taking little videos of myself, just like day-to-days of just like what I got going on and what I got coming. And I think that was also something I learned because I was at one point around Christmas, I really was all music, and I was just dropping every single thing that I made, which is cool because it made me a little catalog. But now I'm seeing the importance of marketing, and like, it's always, it goes back to the Realtor thing. It's like, it's not always about like if you're the best rapper. It's they always say it's like 20% having the ability, 20% of having the ability to know what you have to do to have your certificate to sell a crib, and like the other 80 is all like marketing. It's not even just marketing, but it's just it's besides the music. People gotta like you for more than.
Well, they gotta know who you are, but like I see
you know what I'm saying?
A lot of realtors don't post about like their individual lives. Like I'm like a very rare realtor. Like that's how I learned. Like they're like do 1/3 life, 1/3 you having fun, and 1/3 real estate. Because if they find your page, they'll see that you're a realtor. They'll see that you have fun. They'll see kind of like what you do.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and that gives people a better grasp, or it allows them like a better chance to get on board with like following you or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's cool, man.
Nah, your one song that you did the video in Vegas.
Yeah,
I was like watching it. How did that all come to pass? Like everything.
Matter of fact, I just got off FaceTime with my boy too, who shot that. Josh filmed it. I always almost say his old name. He gets mad, but that's one of my best friends, and he's over these past couple of years, we just became really close and connected because he's a videographer. He used to be a rapper with me and stuff, but we just always locked in, and I feel like we both just want to see each other grow with the vision. It's never no negative or why nots or this. It's always like, yeah, and you could do boom, boom, boom. But he also shot my first video I'd ever dropped in Tennessee, the 115 video, which we're going to get on my page too. But yeah, so we were kind of approaching it with the same idea as the 115 video. We wanted to be kind of like a laid back kind of like a day in the life video, you know, not too much stuff going on, too much focus. And he's an absolute dog with his camera. Like he finds B-roll, which I just learned is everything else in the video that's not of me singing the song, right? And he finds crazy ways to incorporate that. I remember on the beat that I had too, it was like a quick snare. Every 2 and 4, it was like and every snare he had the frame switch to a different part of the B-roll, and I think it just came out cool. I love it. Yeah, but yeah, so I flew out to Vegas because he lives out there. He stays out there now, and so we were really just living, like having a good time. I brought my girl, his girl was out there and stuff, and we picked one day to shoot a video. We got a couple videos coming out too, more in the works, but that was the one I chose to put out specifically because I feel that song specifically was genre-less. Like, I don't really like when people call me a rapper and they forget to say I'm a producer or this, that, because it feels very, like, feels almost demeaning in a sense of no one knows how much time I really put in. And that's one part that I love this song because it branched. So you couldn't just box it in as rap because... Yeah, that's just one thing I loved about it and why I chose to put it out.
So did you guys have the idea to do the video, or did you like make a song and then you're like, I like this song?
Yeah, so
let's make a video around that song.
Yeah, so I had that song made, and I've had this tape idea for like a year now, you know? It's been like, I thought I had it ready at one point, but then I just made like 4 more songs that are just as fire, but I'm getting to the point of it's feeling like I have said everything that I've had to say. And I know that one was one of the songs that was cemented in for the tape. So we chose that one and a few others that I knew were in there. There wasn't really too much of a plan. I think that's the beauty of the way me and Josh kind of make our videos is like, we're just homies. So like we really just go out there and he pulls out his camera, and that helps me also when I'm like, because when we were in Vegas, we were right on like old Vegas. So in old Vegas, it's like, mad people walking everywhere, every direction. There's one scene in the video where I'm like keeping my cool very well, and if you would have watched in the first video, I struggled with that a little more, but in this one I was better, like staying focused with the camera and not worrying about everything else, or like stopping and this. And he's always been good at like, because we are friends too, that like he could tell me in the way I need to hear it to like tap back in, like come on, stop fucking playing around. You know?
So you have an album dropping Friday.
Soon. Nah. So just the first or second, you could call it, because it's a lot's going to be on there. I'm going to drop a single on Friday that's going to be on the tape, and I'm still kind of figuring out my marketing strategy as far as when I want to put out the full tape, because I want it to be digestible in this short span era. You know, people's attention spans, I feel like, are really quick. YouTube short, Instagram real short. So it's like, for now, it's just a single Friday off the tape, but the tape is ready. It's ready to come.
So how long does it take you to make like a full tape? Like,
see, but that's it's never one of my good friends. I view him as a mentor. He engineered me way when I first started. Back when this is before, right after I had failed out of college and was in community college around that time. So that would be about 6 years ago. I had made 2 mixtapes before I started doing things myself. And I just recently got back together with him. His name's Darian. He's an engineer too. And he just said something one day that stuck with me. He's like, it's never really a certain amount of time. There's no endpoint. Like this album that I'm making right now could be like, I could make it forever because of, it's just, as an artist, it's like life. It's just like living life. And sometimes it's just a never ending process, you know? I'm always really in album mode, I guess is a good way to put it. But altogether, I would just say it's more of like I don't like hunker down for like 2 weeks and be like, all right, I'm going to get this album done. I've just disciplined myself to make a beat every day. I did this challenge back in October where I dropped a new beat, and I was still working full-time carpentry, and that was for a contracting company doing like townhomes and stuff. So new construction. I was every day building new houses. We were doing townhouses, and I still made a beat when I got home and dropped one every single day on YouTube. Like, and that, I thought in a moment that was going to be something that was going to bring me a rise, but I now know how much that actually taught me for everything that I need now. Just the discipline of, I don't always want to make music. That's just what it is. But I have to be disciplined enough to know that the feelings that I get from music and what I want to do with music, it requires that. It's also work too. Nothing's ever all gold, you know, or fun.
Let me ask, have you thought about like what you want to do like in the next like a year out, 5 years out, 10 years out, 20, 30 years out? Like, where do you want to?
I'm trying to get better with that, and that's something my girl has brought more into my life, of like kind of even thinking about that. It's hard for me to say right now because I'm not worried. I really just see myself still being with my girl and still making music. I don't know what's gonna come from it, but another great thing I've always heard said is don't worry about the money, worry about the music, and the money will end up coming. So it's always like a crossroads I find myself at, which is why I'm trying to stay on the mentality of I'm gonna work, but I'm still, this is me, you know what I'm saying? But I still have to make a means of an end, and I'm not even gonna worry about all that yet. But so that's why it's almost a hard question to answer, because I'm not, as long as my tombstone says, I said that in the song, says I'm an artist, I feel like I've achieved what I had to achieve almost, you know? So yeah, that's a tough question for me. I see myself making my family and me happy. That's all I know.
But would you want to build like a studio outside your house? Would you want to start like that?
Oh, of course, yes. And I've thought about all that, but it's still a little far-fetched, you know, because that requires me to get more clientele in, which means I have to have people that want production sessions rather than me just trying to flip beats. So it's you know, I don't know yet. I still feel like people can always hit me. Like I have a spot, you know? And so I'm trying to find the only reason I would want to separate and get a studio would be to separate things from my household, because if I have clients coming in, I don't want random people coming into my house. But yeah, it's tough. It's the cost too, you know? So it's like, it's not in it doesn't help me achieve what I guess I'm trying to achieve with my artwork at this moment, you know? But I always love to be all hands-on. I'm very creative with anything. I just like to be creative.
Now, is there any other kind of creative things that you do besides kind of all that music stuff? Like, do you ever go into like drawing, painting? Yeah,
so I mean, I doodle. I'm not the best drawer, but I feel like I'm always creative. Even when I'm fixing stuff, I've never been a a by the book guy, and it kind of hurts me a lot of times. But I also have found that it helps me a lot too, because there's always, if there's a will, there's a way, you know, and that's something that my creativity always kind of works me out of. So I would say I'm always kind of being creative, trying to think of new content ideas besides music. But other than that, I really just pour myself into the music.
You had like on your social media, you were posting like a video a day of you making beats, like you had like the beats of the week. You're going like doing like reels, doing on Instagram, kind of trying to go on live. Yeah. What was like the biggest thing you pulled from from social media?
Yeah. So the biggest thing I pulled from that is, one, you always have to be so all that, I consider all that I did for like a whole year was just trial and error, and I'm not upset with it. Without it, I wouldn't have been able to pull things or do it like I am now, or be more like seasoned in my approach. But I learned one thing that always helped me was being genuine, like really putting yourself into your captions and stuff, because no one has to show you, no one has to look at your stuff or anything. That's the benefit of it, or like, you know, you got to be grateful for that. So one thing I always love to do is when I post something, if I gain a new follower, I would like to either follow them back, or I just show them that I saw that they followed me. If they comment something, I always try and comment back, and be personalized comments, not just like fire, thanks bro, this bro, you know, almost just taking that extra step and trying to show that I do care, you know. And also, I learned that a plan is always key. You gotta have some sort of plan, or some sort of target that you're trying to hit, you know. Because I was out there just making and dropping, just trying, which was good for me. So I would say for anyone first trying to pick something up or start it, just go, just like do it, you know, and don't worry about everything else. But that was one of the big things, man, and just be yourself always, because when you're yourself, even if it doesn't feel like it's received well, 6 months from now, when you go back and you watch that one, those are the ones that you are gonna love, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. And as simple as it sounds, like the whole journey I've been on, I always find myself coming full circle and just having to just be me again, you know? But yeah, that's really what I've learned from it. And it's allowed me to change, honestly, my mindset on ways I look at a lot of things other than just music. The way I see people interact with people or talk to people made me more conscious to a whole bunch of things, I feel like.
So when are we going to get a show?
When you going to get a show? Pretty soon, man. I think when I drop this tape, I think I'll perform a show.
So how does that all work? Like, how do you find a venue to host your show, or how does that all work for?
I'm assuming, I haven't got too deep into that, but I have, so shout out MKP, I forget it, Music Killed the President, shout out Bruce and Laurel, because they both have hit me up to talk to them about that. So if I need some information, I'll probably go to them, but don't really know enough. I would assume you would go to the venue, maybe show them some of your music, but I've always loved to perform, so I am excited to perform soon. What I viewed this whole little process I was in was kind of just getting confident in myself as an artist. You know, I've always been a confident dude, but when I've always been self-conscious, so like really putting myself out there, it really allowed me to gain a true sense of confidence in myself and my art, you know, and I feel like I'm the best at rapping, talking about music, everything that I've ever been. So yeah, we'll get there though, definitely soon, because I do love to perform.
Yeah, because I love to go, like, we've been seeing a lot of us, like, I went to one of their shows, like, kind of like Jonathan Osei does, like, he doesn't rap, but he, like, does comedy.
I've been in contact with all them, so it's cool too that everyone has, like, a mutual respect for people that are doing it, and that's what it takes. It always takes a village, so. Yeah, man.
But then what else have you been up to? Like,
nothing, man. It's really music and just working, just trying to bring in some dough. But it's really just music. I'm just trying to immerse myself in it as much as I can. I pick up the trumpet, so it's my pop's old trumpet. Yeah, so my pops actually used to be he went to St. Rita, and he was a McDonald's All-American trumpet player. So he got to play at like Soldier Field and stuff. So I was helping my mom's clean, and I found it, and I picked it up. I'm getting pretty decent, but I've already found, like, that's the beauty of the music. That's one thing that I love already, is I can find a trumpet and I can think of 7 different ways. If someone even blows a wrong note, of how I can incorporate it into my beat because of my producing knowledge. I know of many ways to flip that. So it's cool to almost think that I could take it to a point where I'm never sampling. No.
You could do everything just...
Yeah, myself.
So what are you, like, using for all that? Like, your studio?
You want my main Johns, my main production things? Because
Yeah.
I use a wide variety. I always like to not cancel out anything and use whatever. But what I usually use is Serato sample, which is how I chop up all my samples. Because I have I don't really chop them in my MPC. But that's usually where I'll chop up my samples in Logic. And then I like to drop them into my MPC because it's analog. And so the difference that I've heard from analog and digital is analog gives the feel. So it's a term called velocity. It gives you your humanized.
Yeah.
Like when I hit the pad, it's how much I hit the pad. Like how hard I hit it. So it gives I don't know, it's more feeling. And that's why I always prefer to do my drums on there rather than just putting in a frequency onto Logic. But yeah.
So then how much did it cost you to get all this kind of together?
It's really not that much, dude, because so if you could get like, it was my most expensive things I have was the laptop.
Yeah, let's say the laptop.
Yeah. So the laptop's a big one. That's around $2 something.
Yeah. And
then my microphone I got, so when I was researching for microphones, I knew I wanted a good one, like, and I just didn't want to spend like Shure money. So I got an Aston Spirit, and that cost me $500, but that was one of my favorite purchases. I love how that thing sounds, especially for rapping. It's very compressed vocals. But, so, yeah, I mean, and it's over time, too, you know? So it's never like, what I advise someone if they're just picking it up and just want to start is just get like, if you want to produce, I found it always better for me to chop samples when I'm chopping them with the keyboard. So I love to plug in my keyboard to my laptop, and you just got to start. You'll know when you're ready to almost get the next thing, you know, because there's so much that I could have been making beats off just stock on Logic, off whatever they give me. Yeah. But Logic they give a fat-free trial, I know, for like a month.
Isn't it? It's like $100?
Yeah, $100 for life.
For life, yeah.
It's fire.
So I was about to buy when I was kind of getting into music production. I was like,
yeah. Nah, I love it. Logic is very user-friendly. I'm about to switch over to Ableton soon, though, I think. Because I like the platform of Ableton. I've seen a couple people mix on it and work on it, and I like how it looks. But that's something that told me 3 years ago, I'd be like, it didn't matter which one you put in front of me because I'm going to have to learn it all anyways. So. Oh, man. Say that's fire. We can take a little break.
Yeah, we can come back. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Be right back. But then that's... So yeah, like my big thing is I want to eventually get enough properties so I could and have someone like watch over it. So I learned how to run the numbers. I learned how to make sure I have like the money in there, so if someone takes over, they're gonna get their cut. And I want to start buying properties. I want to make more money in real estate, buy properties, and then eventually just kind of travel for like a few months on end.
Nah, it'd be fire. That'd be fun.
Like first, go back to Brazil, and then after like I spend maybe like 2-3 weeks in Brazil, then like come back here for like a little bit, and then kind of go to like do like a month or two, like really immerse. Like, hey, I'm staying here for a good time.
Yeah, that'd be.
Because after that 2 week, it drops. It's like how can we meet people? How can we make the best?
That's like it's like a restart. Yeah. It's like not restarting, but it's like a little vacation of just like me.
But then I'll still work. Like I'll do stuff like other stuff on my computer. But like this is like maybe like 5 or like 10 years online. Like when I'm 40, like that's why I'm kind of like, Mom's like, are you gonna start a family? I'm like, I will.
Yeah, well,
chill. Like there's more stuff I want to do beforehand.
No,
like,
I know how that feels. That's a great question. Let me ask you this: have you ever had somebody you feel like doesn't see your vision and is kind of pressuring you to kind of speed that up almost?
Yeah, like my mom's like, why don't you just like she saw like what Matt does. Matt Bruchko. He works from home. She's like, you should get a job like that. And then you could just do it. Like, you could start that journey now. Like, after, like, a few months of saving up money, you could just go. And I'm like, I could, but then I still have to kind of, like, I don't have the freedom. Like, with real estate, I try to work all day, every day. But, like, if I have a crazy night out, I could wake up 8, 9 o'clock. Yeah. Instead of waking up at 6. Do work the rest of the day, and then, like, around, like, 1, take, like, a 30-minute nap, and get back to just calling people, making reels, and doing stuff like that. Like right now, like I'm trying to like incorporate like a for sale by owner strategy. And it's based for sale by owner. So like some people sell and they don't use a realtor. So you don't need to use a realtor. All you need is an attorney to do all the paperwork for you. and then you could kind of sell it on your own, but you don't know how to market. You don't have like access to like the MLS. You just put it on Zillow.
Yeah.
And then like you'll put it for a price that you think is like that you think it is without like running any numbers, and that's kind of it. There are people that do it, but like for me, if I go on Zillow, I can find like 50 homes, and I just call them like, hey, how's it going? I'm a realtor, local realtor. I know you're not working with a realtor. You might not want us to call, but I just want to give you my information just in case you need something. Like in case it doesn't go right, in case it doesn't sell, if you have any questions throughout the process, I'll be here to help you. And then just doing that. So I was starting to do it like waking up at like 7 every day. I'd go to the gym. When I got home, I would scan Zillow to see if there are any new properties. I'd have a spreadsheet and kind of like where it was, like how the thing is going. Then I kind of dropped off a little bit because things are kind of selling right now. They're selling pretty fast.
Seller's market, right?
Yeah.
My grandpa just flipped his house, so check this. They've lived in this home forever over in Des Plaines, and me and my family went out there to get everything unloaded for him. I had to fix up a little thing of drywall, and he had it on the market for, I think it was like 3 days, and it was gone instant. He got like asking price, I think a little above maybe.
Yeah.
But like quick.
Yeah, things are moving. Like I put an offer in for one of my clients, and we're just waiting to kind of hear back. But it's only like the first day she's like, we had like 10 showings. And I'm like, what? And we're the first one to put an offer in and stuff, and I was like, but now it's like day 3, and I'm like, I don't even want to call to see what's like the situation. Because I know, like, she's like, we have 10 today, we have 8 tomorrow. And she's like, we're going to call highest and best make by like Thursday. And I'm like, okay, so like 4 days. And then, but I see it all the time, unless like something's like kind of wrong or like, depending on the area. But I see it all the time now. Especially summertime. Like, summertime is...
You be watching Selling Sunset?
No.
Nah? My girl loves that show.
So,
it's funny.
You know, like...
It taught me a little bit, but it is cringy, bro.
Like, Charles makes as much as like most of those agents.
Word. That's fine. I just related it because that's the only
well, this
way
is the thing. They sell like 2-3 houses a year. He sells like 36.
Word, because they're selling the big boy ones.
Yeah, they're selling the big boy
They're
houses.
like building like massive
mansions. They're selling massive
That's
mansions.
why like put a TV series around it and shit too.
And then you have famous people or like famous athletes. You get them. But like, because we looked into it, he's like, bro, this like girl, like, I make more than this girl.
Yeah.
But she's on Selling Sunset, so like that Selling Sunset stuff.
That check, and that's a huge for their brand, right? Like, essentially what we're trying to build. Like,
well, they're
under the Oppenheim group.
The bald guy.
Yeah.
He's I think he's like the second highest paid realtor in the USA.
Where?
He's in like the top.
Jeez.
I saw like a list and I was like, okay.
But he's also like a broker, right? So like he gets other people flipping it, and he gets.
Well, he gets like if they sell, he gets a percentage. of it.
Word.
But he also sells too.
But it took him a lot to probably build that.
Well, it's him and his twin brother, right?
Yeah.
It took them probably years to build the brokerage.
No one ever gets to see it, and that's what I was going to tell you earlier too. And I was asking about like the pressure, or if you ever feel like someone's trying to pressure you but doesn't see your vision almost, you know. But that's what I was going to relate to that point is like. No one can ever really see your vision like but you, and they'll test you. It's gonna bring like the closest people to you to like they're gonna be like, this motherfucker does not believe in me for real, like, you know. Like, no one's supposed to, yo. That's how it's supposed to be.
But it's been like interesting, like real estate, like everyone's like, okay, yeah, do it. Like even like when I got my license, like I met like my manager or I met my team leader over the phone, and he's like, oh yeah, I'll get your license, like give me a call. And then like he's like, I've had this conversation with like 30 people, like 6 months later he's like, but you're the only one here. And I was like, really? Like nobody else? He's like, nobody else. I was like, okay. I was like, well, let's get started.
No, that's awesome. You're doing good at it too, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick up marketing like a lot. Like I'm just trying to get my name out there.
No,
like,
me too. I'm on it too.
I'm trying to build something. Try to get more people like seeing like
just content, bro. I feel like it's the best way to put it is just like Wallow is saying it. I don't know if you know who Wallow is. They got a podcast. It's Gillian Wallow, $1 Million Worth of Game. So the Jumping Podcast, check it out too. It's more of on hip hop culture ish, but Wallow was saying on it that just start making content. Doesn't matter what you're doing, literally. That's why like now you see me like. The other day, I was just finished putting up the hammock with Josh, and I like just stood on top of a ladder, just doing some dumb shit that I would always do. I was like Karate Kid type, whatever, just dumb bullshit, and I put it up there. But it's still content, you know. If you can consistently, day in and day out, give just whatever social media a little piece of you, you know, and consistent, that grows and grows and grows. I think I grew since Christmas on Instagram. I think I've gained 115 followers of random people that I don't know, and those are the ones that are like lasting, you know, that will make it feasible in the end.
Let's say I was talking to somebody and I told them like I got 5,000 views on one of my videos, then 3,000, then 2,000, and then it kind of died down. Like I still dropped the same videos, but they're like, "What did you do in those videos?" Like I used the same sound and the same like where it jumped back to me. They're like, stick to that sound, do the same thing you're doing, and just make those same style videos 4 times a week, and you could probably get like that.
Yeah, one of my boys, he's another mentor of mine. His name's Macaulay Bennett. And he said the same thing, because we were trying to work my algorithm when I was making beats, and we noticed that when I was standing up and it was the left side of my face, it's literally down to that, because it's like technical things. It's like I'd be standing up, left side of my face, and I would have to flip my camera. I used to only use the front side, and I flipped it to use like the triple camera, so it bumped the quality a little, and that one, hit 10K, and this one hit. So you could see exactly. You want to find them, and that's what they say by follow your algorithm. Look at your content, which one's got the best review, or you feel like we're received the best, people commented on the best, and follow that approach. Yeah.
So then, I've been trying to make more videos. Like I thought, well, like right now I have like a bunch of like
shorts are where it's at right now. Like the little skits, like how you're even doing with your podcast. Like I see people doing it with music videos, and it's one of the great promotions. Is like take one of the best. Like I did it for 3 days before I actually dropped my videos. Take cool parts that you like and make the little.
Well, I always do like I didn't have nothing to post the other day, so I was like, what can I post? I'm like, I have the original videos of all my podcasts, so I could do like the podcast 1 to podcast.
I've done that too. Yeah.
5 or 6, and then or podcast 5 and then 6 was introducing DG, so I did that, and then so I have that thing which I'll do like once a month. I also have like a bunch of random like videos.
Like a recap.
Yeah, I do videos like I take like in the city. And it's just so, like, if I have nothing to post that day, I can put something together with all the city ones.
And one of the hacks they always say, too, is if you're on a content-heavy day, take something and save it. And so, like, what I would even do is a lot of times when I was making beat videos, if I was hot that day, I make 4 or 5 beat videos, and then I have 4 or 5, I have a video for the next day. So I don't think it always has, that's one approach, or that's one way to, like, debunk my beginning approach of dropping a beat a day for a month. It was cool when I did it, but it also is like, that's not how time works. So some days I'm going to have 3 hours to really be concentrating on music, and I know that this is a great time for me to do it. So now it's up to me to be disciplined and motivated to get in there, and then I have a whole week's worth of content.
But then there's also the other thing where it's like, so I'm doing like these videos of us, of me like in front of the camera, and I'll talk to it. I could cut 1-second videos of me with all my different shirts and post a video about that.
Bro, like, check this. I got a reel right here.
And I could repost and recycle anything old. Yeah. Or else I just put another song on it and just repost it.
Yeah, that's what they do. So that's what I've been starting to do more too, is like, instead of just song, I'm promoting Stop Playing for the past 2 weeks. I dropped the video last week. Now I'm doing like, call it a rollout. They like to say in the industry, and like, so now I'm going to roll it out heavy the next 3 days, or 2 days until Friday, you know, and then drop it. Repeat. You know? But yeah, man, it's cool. I feel like there's no right way either, ever. I feel like everyone can just add a little bit. Everything someone has to say can give you a little bit of game, you know? There's no one right way, really, because it's a long game.
It really is.
It's a long journey, and like that's what people always forget. Ice Cube said in a video one time, he said, be willing to put 5 years into your craft, at least, before you make $1 off it. At least. If that's how you, like, dialed in you have to be. Like, that's how I was able to, in 2 years, just start making, like, fire-ass beats that I think are, like, amazing. I even got other people coming to me. That's something that I was, like, wishing for back when I first started, and it's, like, it's funny how it works like that, but it does take you putting your nose down and like always just getting through life. We'll just put it, because it's
like, even like, well, like from like everything I've learned, like I had advertised more, but I've learned new forms of advertising now, where it's like I used to call people like 6 people a day, but I could post a reel and 200 people see it. So I'm like,
I used to be on the make a video, send it to everyone in my shit, but I don't do that no more,
because I'm like, okay, if I post a reel, around minimum 200 people will see it. So I'm like, all right, I'll call my database, so it's like another touch, a little bit less. I'll do it more heavy in the winter time, and I'll do my like all my other advertising and my email blast, which I do two a month. I might kick it up to 4 a month.
Yeah, but that's the key too, is finding. So what we are doing, or in the process of doing, you'd probably be doing it forever, is finding that target audience, your demographic. They would like to say, and when you find your demographic, now you're going to be having another 200 or however many. The number is irrelevant, but you're going to have. You are aiming your content right at the right person. So now instead of us getting 200 views of like friends that we know are just already got a spot or staying here, you're going to have 400 people that are looking for a house, looking at your content daily, you know? And like,
well, the other thing is I'm trying to, so like I was seeing like all my stats, like I'm heavy in the USA, but I want to be heavy in like Illinois.
Yeah.
I want to be heavy like where I am. Like it's getting easier.
Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Like if I have someone in India looking at my stuff, I'm like, thank you for the
thank you for the look.
But like, hey, like
word. No, I'm knowing.
So I'm trying to figure out that. Like I'm probably gonna start switching up my hashtags. I get 40, right? 40 hashtags.
See, what I started doing, and I saw help for me, was I kept it more concise with my hashtags. So I've done both, where I've loaded them up too. And what I think I found to find more is find like 7 or 8 really good ones, and they might even be more niche than the ones that 100 people might view. You know, because like how many people you know are going into the Instagram in the search bar and just typing in like producer. You know, so I kind of wired it down a little. Since I was using the MPC, I started putting like hashtag MPC, specific things, and then you'll find almost more of that target.
Yeah, I'm gonna start looking at different ones. Like I know there's like,
because I For You page to death my TikTok for a little bit. FYP For You page, but it's like,
how is TikTok?
TikTok was good, but I took a little break from it. I feel like Instagram, I'm more of a. TikTok was cool, but my approach is changing a little more. I'm more so pushing myself as the artist and the beat maker now. When I was doing it before, I was really just pushing myself as a producer to try and get more artists to come around. But I'm an artist. I forgot about that during the process, you know? So I'm just going to do everything that I wanted to do for other people, for myself.
Because, yeah, I have a lot of people telling me to hop on TikTok, but I'm like, man, TikTok is...
But you could do it, so you know how we post it. Yeah, so... Well, I don't think you could do it. I don't know if they have a TikTok button like they do for when we post, where it goes straight to Instagram and straight to Facebook.
Well, no.
But what if you could have a TikTok button and go straight to TikTok too, every video you post?
Well, I'll switch my approach. You know what CapCut is?
No.
It's like an editing software. I would edit all my videos on CapCut, and then I would find, let's say if there was a song on Instagram, I'd try to find the same song on Snapchat.
Oh, we're giving you one of my songs for this video to put over it.
And then that'd be like the reel if you have like...
Yeah, I got one. I got some on Apple Music that we could use.
How does it work? Well, basically I'll make it on CapCut, and then I'll just post it on Instagram, and then Instagram post it on Facebook, and then I'll take it and post it on TikTok.
That's what I was doing. What I was saying would be sick is if they had the button, like how we were just talking at the Jubilee, how you can now post it on Instagram and it already posted to Facebook for you. Like
I have so many people now coming up to me like, "Hey, reset your stuff."
No, but that's what I'm saying. Well, I think there is another one where it would post to Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, all off one post on Instagram. I think you can do it.
That would be cool, but they don't. TikTok's not owned by Facebook.
Okay, so that's why. Then no, you can't. TikTok takes forever to upload the video.
Really?
Yeah, but they give you longer, so you get like 2 minutes and 30 seconds
for the video.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Instagram gives you 30 minutes.
Instagram gives you 1:30 on the reel.
Nah.
They changed it to 3.
30. You can put a reel for 30.
No, you can only put a live up for 30. A reel is 1:30 max.
No, because I put like Charles's thing, his podcast, and it was a 30-minute long podcast, and they cut it off at 30, like after 30.
But it probably went under an episode of like a live show.
Maybe. Because
when I post like a beat video, it cuts me off. Like if I put up a video right now of me playing on my beat pad,
it cuts it off at
1:30.
Really?
Yeah, I could go for 30, but no, it cuts it at 1:30 every time. Maybe they changed the reels, but I know stories 1:30 and reels used to be 1:30, and then posts were 1 minute, and that's why I went towards the reels more. Because if you do like the regular post, you could do multiple minute ones, you know. But 1 minute is the max length they allow you to do for not reels, but like the OG post, you know.
But what I was saying earlier about it's like the podcast is now shifting into guests. So every episode now I'm going to have guests instead of telling a story. But now
I can do both.
But the reel, I could tell a story. Like I
told
I told a story about how my client fell down the stairs.
Exactly, and I saw that shit. Yeah.
So then, like, and that got a lot more views. Like, everyone was like laughing and stuff, and I was like, okay,
that's that's more content. Like, it is still on subject matter, but that's like a day thing. Like, you could do one. You know what I'm saying?
So I might just do a podcast of myself, kind of market update every month, beginning of the month, and then try to do 3 podcasts every month, and then have 3 different guests, or like maybe have 4 guests if I have them, the minimum 2, but 4 a month, and then have the 1 episode, have another like hey, this is like a spin-off episode of what's going on in the market. 30 seconds every time. This, and this. That's all you need to know. We should start doing some skits. Robbie down. I could do a skit with you, like we could do it like you trying to sell something and we make that shit funny as hell. But we could do like how I do like with this. I really can do it. Well, I'll do it like... Yeah, but we should make like a funny ass one besides the point. Well, like this is the thing. Like I could be like trying to sell you something and be like, you're like client. Like, look, I'm not like get off top and be like, no, listen. Listen, man. I need a... No, we'll plan it. We'll like write down lines and do some funny shit. Because if you need like what I do, if there's a lot of lines, I'll voice record it, put it in my headphone, and play it, and then I can like hear myself say it, and I can record it. That's smart. On the long lines, like you'll see, I have like something in my ear. That's funny as hell. Because I can't like keep track of lines, so like I have to like voice record it and then put it in my ear, and then I can start. That's funny. That's smart. I would have had like signs up there. No, because then like they see you like. No, they see you looking. No, that's a smart way. I agree. You got. But then like that's what I'm gonna do for my market update. I'm going to write it all out and then say it all out, and then I'm going to put in the headphone and just go for it. That'll be fire. But then, the studio, I just stole this from my mom, the light. A makeup light? Yeah. Yeah? Because I want to see how, like, yours changed. How it would, like, look. Oh, no, light is key. It's crucial. Well, because then you can edit after the fact, too. Say you want to put, like, a lighter film grain on it, you can do it, and that helps it get the film grain to the best possible thing that it could be, you know? Because I was going to say, I usually only have that one, but then I was like, I might buy another one of those. Nah, we'll check it out. We'll see how we looking. It'll probably be nice. I mean, all the videos so far have just been with that. Yeah, I mean, but I usually put a blanket behind this so you don't see, like, the window. But then I was like, today, I was like, let's see what happens, like. Nah, bro, I like it. But then I'm buying a longer curtain rod. I'm going to get a longer curtain to put up. A green screen? No, maybe just a longer curtain. You know what helps too is like a white curtain would also pop. Yeah, I don't know, I have to look into it. It's just stuff I need to, it's just been kind of wild. We're going on the camping trip, so I'm like trying to save my money as much as I can. And it got like wild this week, like I'm like down. I'm like, fuck, I have to buy the tickets today, and then like I'm going to work for my dad for the next like month. Yeah. And just try to save up as much money as I can. So I can go to a camping trip. I don't think I'm going to Brazil anymore. I was supposed to, but I'm like, man, I might just have to hold off. Yeah, it's funny. It'd be like that. I've noticed that I don't do a lot of, just, not like I don't want to do activities. It's like sometimes I see that I know what I want, you know, and sometimes it takes you sacrificing some things that you want to do. A lot of times, honestly. But I'm going to do so I'm trying to post like reels when I'm out there. I know I'm not going to be able to like upload them. Take the content. Exactly what we're talking about, you know? Take a bunch of content daily and then you can come back home and really like, that's key. They say that. It's like a reel tip thing. If you ever be scrolling through the reels, you're like, I have something to help you to get your reels blow up. You know what I'm talking about? Those little things there when Instagram is like, you can go, when you go to a park for a content day, make sure you take content and use it for all other days. Like, in the corny sound and shit. But then I was going to do, I was going to have, trying to find a house in the wilderness. And then I was going to have, I'm going to sell the tent. Be like, oh, this is a tent. You get about 50 square feet. I'm going to do one of those, and then But look, you could even have, Josh, you could try and sell it to somebody on there, whoever's on the trip have Germ do it. I'm gonna have Germ record it, and I'm gonna have Josh be the buyer, because he's not gonna take it serious. He's gonna look at me like, what is this kid doing? Like, hey man, let me sell you this time real quick. That would be funny. And then I was gonna do I did last year pictures, but then if you look at the bottom, my feet are just in it. So I'll do it again round 2, feet finder. And just like it's like beautiful scenery, and then you look at the bottom, just like my feet are right there.
Nasty ass toes. Oh shit!
But yeah, that's basically.
I think we got it, huh?
Yeah, well, we could edit it.
We got a lot of content in there.
Probably over an hour.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you guys later.
Peace.